to the crafty nana, thrifting, vlogging, whole try on.
Good afternoon. Well, it isn't a good afternoon, it's a shitty afternoon. But, you know, that doesn't matter. It's a good afternoon here with me. So, can you believe we're already in the middle of February? And that means, well, both things happening at the same time. Chinese New Year and Valentine's. So, I challenged myself to make 4 Valentine's outfits from the haul that I'm currently doing. So, I think I succeeded bar one, but they are a little bit out there. So my first outfit, we're not thinking romantic dinner out, we're thinking more wild, fabulous, funky Valentine, just celebrating it anyway. Because let's face it, at my age, your husband ain't interested in Valentine's. Big time. So, this was the amazing giraffe skirt. I actually ironed it for you ladies. Can you believe that? I never iron anything, but today I ironed. And I put it on with that dress that I found about a month ago. And I just thought the two were so funky together, with all the yellows and the blues in the giraffes. Now, this was too long on its own, so I've literally put a clip in the back. Safety pin would do. Just to lift it up a little bit and let you see my funky, wonderful giraffes. Because they are funky and wonderful. And I love them. Stained glass giraffes. I mean, who would have thought? But there we go. And just the long red jacket over the top. And some cute Valentine's earrings. Now, you will also notice that I'm wearing, this is a love bug. Now, my daughter made me this love bug, but she had ulterior motives. Every year, since they were little tiny children, I have worn these love trolls. I can't tell you how old they are. They're so old. Probably 35 years old, maybe 34, 33, maybe. They're over 30. They're over 30, these trolls. How do mummies embarrass their children when their children are little? You have to find little ways to do it. Little things that make them scream and whimper, but they really love it. Love trolls. I have Easter trolls, but those are my love trolls. So every year, without fail, they come out and I wear them still. In my mid-60s. Still fun to torture your children. And now I have grandchildren to torture. But I just thought that these earrings went with this better. And I thought just to make her feel happy, I'd wear my love bug instead of the love trolls today. So, first outfit. It's a doozy. It really is a doozy. So bright, so colourful, so funky. You dance in this, I think, because you couldn't help it. You just want to have a little swing around and dance about because the skirt's so full and so fabulous. But yes, so that is Valentine's outfit number 1 for daytime. Well, you could go to the evening, but you know. It's not an evening sexy outfit. It's just a fun and funky Valentine's or Chinese New Year, even though it's Indian designs on it or African designs on it. You know, it's all red, it's all bright, it's all funky. This would be fun. Outfit number 2 coming up. So, outfit number 2. Red and blue again, but much darker, rustier red and a much deeper, darker navy blue, but with some really bright aqua and ultramarine blue in the fabric. This is the lily skirt. Really, really, really like this. This is sort of that 80s style where it has a little frilled top that comes up over the belt. I put my own plain navy belt on it. Now, I was originally going to put this with a plain blue t-shirt from my haul, which literally picked up the ultramarine blue. 5 ringgit on the sale rack, very simple, and it would have worked absolutely perfectly. But I felt if we were doing sort of dressy up, that's just too plain. It did look good, but it's just too plain. I found this. Now, this is a long tunic, so it comes right down underneath the dress, and it had a red lining underneath. Now, I will be using the red lining on my final outfit, but I thought it gave it a little bit of naughtiness, just having it a little see-through, and I thought that the embroidered lilies on the top matched the lilies on the bottom, and I just thought it was a lot more fun than a plain blue t-shirt, and the right colour. So I put them all together. Little red jacket, nothing fancy, bought in India 7-8 years ago, maybe even 9 now, and from my haul from Banduro, 11-12 ringgit skirt. Again, this would do Chinese New Year or Valentine's. I think it's got a little bit of naughtiness about it that you could find quite flirtatious if you wish to. And it also has got longer sleeves, so if you wanted to not wear the jacket, you could wear it without the jacket. What are we thinking? Quite sassy. Definitely quite sassy. Not quite as bonkers as the first outfit, but it's got a lot going on. But I think it's got a lot going on in a good way. I added the silver jewellery. Now, it probably would look better with gold, with all this gold embroidery and the orangey things, but I just felt the silver lifted and gave me a bit of brightness around my face with all these much heavier colours. So I've got heart earrings, and I've stacked up 3 different necklaces to bring up some of the turquoise, and all hearts. All hearts, all thrifted at different times. And nice and jangly. So that is outfit number 2. The love of my life has just arrived, my cat, and he's just decided he's got to sit on my t-shirt because I put it on the bed. Never mind, hey, we will just ignore him. Pretend he isn't putting cat hair all over my clean clothes, and move with no further ado on to outfit number 3. You have seen this before, but only once because it's quite a recent find. Thrifted. I think this was a JJJ one. This t-shirt with the ruffle across it is from this haul. This is a Jalan Japan 5 ringgit top. It's also got a little ruffle across one sleeve as well. Now the skirt, I found it in Jalan Japan. It was a dress. And it was, I would say this is probably 80s with this design and this shape. So it's a real sort of like, it's a throwback for me. I really like the design on it. Unfortunately, it seems to attract lint. So every little bit of white cotton in my house has managed to find its way onto it. But I really quite like it. It literally just had a strappy top. I just cut it off. It's gone. And there we have a rather pretty reddy pink skirt with a lovely ruffle around the bottom, terribly 80s styly. And then with the ruffled jacket with the peplum, I think it looks really, really sweet. So to that, I have added the Moschino. So this is original Moschino, bought for me by my father. I still have my original boxes, and I was just having a peek now, and he bought these in Selfridges, which doesn't really surprise me because Selfridges was literally right round the corner from where I was living. I lived in James Street for quite a while. My father actually owned the property, so I was one of his tenants whilst I was working in that part of town, and also whilst I was going to college in the Shore Academy in Bond Street. So yes, original Moschino that I've had since they were brand new, and probably 40 plus years. Quite something, hey? And they still look as good as new. They are still juicy and delicious and yummy. And he bought them for me because at that point in time in my life, I only ever wore black, and I was very over the top and very flamboyant. And he probably thought that nobody else would suit them as well as I did. Bless him. So this is outfit number 3. And I think if you were going out for a Valentine's dinner, I think you definitely wear this. I think it's very cool. I've done 80s hair as well. My hair does that naturally, of course. What's not to like? It's a cute little outfit. It's fun. It's sweet. It's vintage. And it's Moschino. I put on some bling rings just to give it a little bit of sparkle. But I've got no decent fingernails at the moment. They will be back. But over Christmas, I did so much cooking and cleaning and sewing and stuff that they literally got disintegrated. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just living life. And I prefer to live life than have long nails. So, and they will be back. Now, my dears, on to our final outfit. I think we've had some fun so far. There's some really funky stuff. And again, it's encouraging you to go out there, look at things and think, well, I could cut that up, make that into a skirt. That would be easy. You can see some lovely fabrics and they're just not in styles that you could wear, but you just think, yeah, I could chop that up. T-shirts, nice basics, go with everything. And at 5 ringgit, you can't go wrong. That's like 91 pence. And a cute little jacket always makes everything look good. So there we go. No further ado, on to the last one. Okay, so I thought we ought to have something a little bit lacy. So this lace skirt I thrifted a while back. It's very, very pretty. I took the lining out because it was a nasty lining, all nylon-y and static. And I did the same with this little top that I thrifted in JJJ. It had a skin colour lining, but the skin colour was like bright apricot. I don't think anybody's got skin colour that colour. Now this pinky red that I'm wearing underneath it is actually the lining to the blue embroidered one that I was wearing 2 back. 2 back or 1 back? 2 back. So I put them all together. And then I put this sheer coat over the top, give it long length. And then I added on top of that my Butler and Wilson collection of hand jewellery. So I've got the brooch. I've got 2 necklaces on, the single dangle necklace and the collar necklace. And then I've got 2 pairs of earrings on, the long dangles with the hands and then just little short studs with hearts just to bring it up onto my ears. I absolutely love this. I have all the original boxes from Butler and Wilson as well. Again, I've had them for a very, very, very long time, but they're just so lovely. I've always been a big fan of the Victorian memento mori and the very sort of sentimental jewellery, like the carved ivory and coral hands with the florals, and this definitely gives that vibe, but with a sort of more modern twist. Although having said that, of course, they're now vintage, so it's not modern, but yes, I really, really, really love these. They are so delicate and so pretty. I'm going to come a little closer so that you can see them in more detail. Well, hopefully my husband's got some photographs too. But yes, really, really delicate, really pretty. Little diamond, red studded diamante hearts, little tiny hands, lots of little details. Really, really delicious. brooch as well. And the earrings. Go with the red lippy. And there's the final look. Now, this is your going out in the evening, romantic, candlelit dinner. I'm not going to get one of those. I can't remember the last time I had one of those. As I said, that time that we went to Venice for Valentine's and fell asleep through and missed the whole of Valentine's completely because we'd exhausted ourselves before we'd even got to Valentine's, walking through all the fabulous streets and looking at all the sights, sort of put us right off. I think after that, that was about it. I think that's probably, we just didn't bother anymore. But anyway, I hope you have a romantic Valentine's. Have a romantic one on your own. Light a candle. Make yourself a nice supper. Even if it's a cake, have a cake. Just enjoy yourself. Celebrate love, because love comes in all forms and all shapes and all sizes. Love for your kids, love for your grandkids, love for your cat. My cat's more romantic than my husband. He gives me more kisses, that's for sure. Anyway, whoever you're with, even if it's just you, enjoy your night. Have a lovely time. Make the most of it. Celebrate anything you've got to celebrate. Life's too bloody short not to. If it means you can dress up and sit on your own with a good romantic novel and a cat, that's perfection. Go for it. I love you all. Have a really wonderful time. See you next week. Bye for now. From the Crafty Nana.
If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Bye for now.